So, hi everyone. I'm Brittany Brown, founder of Beating Binge Eating and leader of the Food Freedom Forever Mastermind and Movement. Here with one of our graduates, our Beating Binge Eating Blueprint graduates today, April, and I'm going to be introducing her and also we're going to share about her story. You're going to learn a ton. So, she graduated a year and 3 months ago, meaning she's been on this journey a while, has transformed just a completely dysfunctional relationship with her body and food into freedom. She's living her life. She's teaching yoga. She's doing all these amazing things. And so can't wait to talk. So April, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So many things I could ask you, but I want to just start by asking you like before. So think back like a year and a half ago when you reached out to us, right? So before the Beating Binge Eating Blueprint, what did life look like for you?
It looked really bad. I had just, well, let's see, I have a competition prep history. So I had done 6 shows, very restricted diets, a lot of cardio. And so I was really terrified of food in general, just eating anything. And I would get like 1 cheat meal a week, and that generally turned into a binge. Prior to all of that, I had an eating disorder when I was like 16, and I went to treatment for that. That was anorexia. It wasn't binging. I would binge, like, if you would want to call it a binge, but it was like 3 granola bars. So I wasn't like super into binging at that point, but I went through treatment for that, and then years later started competition preps. And so that's when my binging really started to get crazy. And then I started working as a flight attendant, and I realized I could not prep and be a flight attendant at the same time because it was just too insane of a schedule. So that's when I like let go of trying to stick to the competition prep, and without having the goal of a competition, it kind of like got really crazy to where I was binging like every other day or every 3 days. And it was binge restrict, and it was like out of control, like in like you're in like a dark blackness, and you just like have cake on your hands and you're like, what happened? So yeah, it was really, really bad. And I was in even a worse place. Like the binging was bad, but also like it was coming so much from like not loving my body. And yeah, like I still remember that call with Stella like so perfectly because I remember she asked me like what your relationship was with my body, and I just like busted out in tears, and I like was like, it's bad. So yeah, it was not good. It's not a good time.
Yeah. And I know that like life after competition, I competed. So I know that life after competition is so tough because, we all pretty much go into competition for the most part with body image type issues anyway. And I think for you and probably for me too, like the point of my competition, yes, I loved health and wellness, but a lot of it was like just so I had accountability because I felt so out of control with my food. I'm not sure if yours was the same, but I see that a lot. And then we get really lean, and then we come off of this competition prep, and like trying to accept my body when I was stage ready was impossible, let alone after stage, where you are bloated and swollen and all of it. So yeah, I know that can be tough. And if anyone's listening who doesn't compete, it doesn't matter. Like you can sub in strict diet for competition, right? It's basically just an extremely strict diet that most women, even if they're not competing, put themselves through this ringer of this like insane way to live. So yeah, April, I know you were in a pretty dark spot when you came in, and I'd love to hear what things look like for you now, a year and 3 months graduated.
Yeah, it's great now. Like I haven't ever binged since the day that I had the phone call. I'm still on a no binge. My relationship with food and my body is just like completely transformed, and I love myself all the time now, which is just like amazing. Like I even going through treatment for an eating disorder, like I did not even gain nearly as much as I did through that than I did through your program, because they didn't like show me how to listen to my body and how to love myself, and so much stuff. But yeah, so things are great now. I'm still a flight attendant. I teach yoga. I love helping people, just like, especially I love helping women that are also going through the same kinds of things. Not, I don't like help them the way that you do, of course, but just like giving them like, you can love yourself. Like, what? They're like shocked when they hear that. And really everybody just deserves to feel this amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I think that's a really big point. Like a big, I remember your transformation really well. And one big thing was like learning that you could love yourself. You know, you don't even have to be there, right? You don't have to be lean, like you're, you know, stage ready to build this like loving relationship, and you can still have goals. So like, I remember one thing that we worked on together. I have crazy memory with my clients, but like, I remember one thing we worked on together was giving you, cause you, so April came from this competitive background, right? And not just like competitions judging your physique, but like physical routines and things. And one of the things that was you didn't have that to work towards, but now you pole dance, right? And like, I see your videos and they're amazing and you're building this strength. And so, yeah, can you talk a little bit about that? Like how you were able to almost just like shift to something that was more empowering for yourself?
Yeah, that was definitely huge. That was like, I always felt like I needed to have some sort of goal or like something physical to work towards, and not even just aesthetics, you know, but something physical. And I miss working on like my fitness routine. And so, yeah, like shifting into focusing more on my pole, and also doing like more, I remember one of the things that I picked to work on during the program was the planche, which I still can't do. It's really hard. But it was like something, especially at that time, that I
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah, I was like, that'd be so cool. It's really hard, but it's still fun to work on it, and any kind of like hand balancing and just working on pole and having like more of what my body can do versus like what it looks like. And the community, the pole community, they're all like so amazing and so body positive and like just caring and loving people. So that was like a much different than the bodybuilding community. So it was a big shift, but it was a really good one.
Yeah, totally. And I love that because I think it's important to realize that no matter, you know, what kind of goals you have, you don't have to give up your dreams and your goals and your wants and your desires to find freedom. Because a lot of times in eating disorder treatment and other programs and things like that, they like stamp you as disordered and you have to like do all these things and not live your life, which like I believe the opposite. Like, let's get you really living your life. And I feel like your story is just a really big testament to that. So I know you've learned so much probably through our program and then just like in life after the program, actually like integrating everything into your life. So if you could sum it up, what's like one of your biggest lessons that's really supported you in your freedom and making your freedom last?
I think learning to like work with my body as like a friend or a partner. Like one thing, I don't know if it was in your lessons or where it came from, but like that your body is your soul's mate. Was that in your lesson?
It's similar. We don't necessarily use that line, but the entire third week and then in the program is like about building that relationship with your body and treating it as your partner and your best friend. So yeah, I love that though. Your body is your soul's mate. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's like something that sticks with me, and like I carry that with me every day. Like, how do I want to feel? Like, this is my body. This is my soul's mate. How do I want to treat my body? And you know, everything that goes with that.
I love that. Yeah. And that's so beautiful. And just for anyone who's watching, it's really like, you know, we talk about this in the third week of our program, this idea that if you were trying to, let's say, like heal a relationship with a partner or a soulmate, you know, your romantic soulmate, right? And, you know, would you do this through criticism and shame and blame and, avoiding eye contact and, yelling and, forcing and controlling and restricting. Like, no, that's not the way you would repair a relationship. You would do it through love and nourishment and partnership and these things. And I know that was really a big part of your journey. And I love this additional layer of your body is your soul's mate. I'm going to totally borrow that for a lot of our work. So that's beautiful. So, what about your mindset? So that's actually a really big mindset shift and just like an entire identity paradigm. I remember you came into the program and you were very, very scared to let go of restriction and things because you've come from such a restrictive past. And then you were able to like sidestep that and all of a sudden embark on this transformation with your body. So, you've done other programs and things. What made you be able to just kind of surrender into ours? And what was like the mindset that you took into your journey with us and after that's allowed this transformation to really stick for you?
I think, one day at a time, definitely, as far as it goes, like coming out of the program. But I don't really think about it that much anymore because like so much like uncovering, sorry, is my picture still there?
It's there. Yeah, you're good.
Because like uncovering so many like limiting beliefs and, like all the work we did through that program, like after it, like I really don't have to think about food or my body anymore, which is like amazing. Like who would have thought you don't have to think about it all the time? But going into the program, it was a big money investment and I was just like so hopeless. I had it was kind of, I just felt like it came at the perfect time especially because Haley, we had our calls are the same exact day and we're like best friends. And so things just worked out perfectly that I was like, okay, I have no other choice. Like I have to do something. And I had gone to therapy and it didn't work. And I was like, this is the only thing I know what to do right now. So yeah, it came at the perfect time and just committing myself to putting in the effort every day and like using the support that's there through you and through the community and just putting in my all because I knew that there had to be something better.
Yeah. I love that. So yeah, it sounds like now you don't even have to think about it, which is awesome. And that's like the ultimate goal. And especially with our program, it's so rooted in the brain science, the neuroplasticity and working through those beliefs and that like self-sabotage that can get in your way once you like find freedom, right? That, the transformation can really last, which is awesome. So I love that it's second nature. And then you mentioned just showing up and taking it one day at a time. And really, I know that you poured yourself into the program. Like when you had issues, you got on the calls. When you needed support, you asked for it and you just really used the resources. And then like, look at you now, you've come so far. So this is awesome. So what would you say to anyone who's, let's say, kind of in the program, right? And they're scared, week 2's coming and they're like, whoa, what's going on? This is different than anything I've ever done. Or honestly, if someone's not even in the program and they're outside in the world hearing advice and tips that might be a little scary or out of their comfort zone, what would your advice be to them to just really get the most out of the process?
First, to know that like you're worth it. Like you're definitely worth having this major life change, and then just showing up because that's what you're here for, and that's I can't think of anything else, but just being there in the program. If you have problems, come like get on the calls, get in the Facebook group. Like it's such a loving and caring community that's there, and everybody's going through the same things. So don't be scared to just reach out for help.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a big thing is like, I talked to someone the other day and they're like, well, I feel like I could just try to do it alone. And one, it's like, if we look at the history of trying to do it alone, there's been like 20 years of trying to do it alone, or even 2 years of trying to do it alone. And like, if the same stuff keeps happening, there's something going on. And then also I just told her like, yes, you could, but like, you actually don't have to, like, you don't have to be struggling with this stuff in your dark pantry or like on the couch with no one else there, you know, wondering what the hell you're doing and feeling defeated, and like you don't have to do that alone. So yeah, I love that, just like using the support. And then any words of wisdom to anyone kind of like you know that feeling when you're like looking for a resource, right? And then you stumble across something and you're like, you know, it feels right, but you have all those fears and things coming up. Yeah, any words of wisdom to like anyone who's not in the program and maybe coming across our work for the first time?
Yeah. You know, I think like one of the biggest things that stops people from doing anything in life is money. And I know that was like I was like, I can't do this because I cannot afford it. Like I made $18,000 last year. Like I do not make money. And somehow it still works out. So you are worth the money investment, and you're like, this is worth so much. I can't even tell you. So, just know that the money is going to work out. So don't be afraid to spend the money on it, because it's worth it. And the money, it just works out. I don't know how I did that, but it worked out and everything's fine. And it was
Didn't
totally
you like That's so awesome. Didn't you like not have it? I didn't know this till after you completed the course and you like mentioned it to someone in our group. Didn't you like not have it, like legitimately not have it, but either went out and got it or just somehow trusted, like somehow I'm going to come up with this. And then that week or right after. Yeah.
I did
Like
not
you
have,
didn't even like,
I
oh,
did
sorry.
not,
It's a little delayed.
no, it's okay. Yeah, no, I did not have the money. I had, I had to wait until I got paid, and that was like my whole paycheck for the first round. And then it was pretty much like my whole paycheck, and I made it work. I don't know how. I guess when you're not
Yeah.
binging, you don't spend so much money on food.
It is true though. I mean, the cost of the program is dollars a day, right? And then you think about like, I don't know, I could easily spend $20 on a binge or something, not to mention like overhauling the cabinets with the healthy food that I didn't eat, or like whatever new diet plan I was doing, or gym, or all of it. So yeah, it's I love that. It's definitely worth it. And I know that you have faith in us and faith in yourself and just in like the universe, or you know, source, or just things to have your back. And you really, really like embodied that belief of being worth it. And then it just totally panned out, and you were well taken care of, and also free from your struggle with binge emotional eating, which is like priceless in my opinion, right? So yeah, April, this is really awesome. I've loved chatting with you and appreciate it so much. Anything else to add? And you know, if you don't have any, that's totally cool, but anything else to add before we kind of wrap up the interview today?
Just, if you're not in the program, do it. That's it.
That's awesome. And hey, everyone that's listening, these answers are not like rehearsed. You know, I'm not like, hey, say this, April. This is coming from April's heart. It's really just a conversation with the goal of just educating you and giving you some insight onto this journey to food freedom forever. So awesome, April. Mwah. It's been awesome to speak with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing this. I know that this is going to inspire so many people.
Thanks so much for having me. I hope it does. I hope everyone that's struggling finds this and is able to get, you know, the freedom they deserve.